Okay, today we are going to work on the strategy of our I can statement of I can identify equivalent units of metric measurements. So as we know, the metric system is used all around the world, and it is often difficult for us to kind of make sense of that since we are more accustomed to the U.S. customary system. So our metric units of length that we're working with are millimeters, centimeters, and meters. But today we're going to practice a strategy that incorporates all the metric units just so that we can see how they all fit together as a whole. And there's a mnemonic or a strategy to help us remember it, and that is called King Henry died. Mom didn't care much. Okay, and what that is King stands for kilometers, which would be the largest unit. Henry stands for hectometers or hectometers, however you want to say that. Died stands for decameters. And again, these aren't the ones we have to know, but it's good to know the whole. M for mom stands for meters, which is one that we are going to be working with. Didn't is decimeter. Care is centimeter, again, another measurement that we do need to know. And much is millimeter. Okay, so we're going to focus on the mom, the care, and the much. But in order to understand how this is going to help us, we have to look at it as a whole. So if we're looking at meters, so for example, if I have 5 meters and I want to know how many centimeters that is, I have to look at this 5 as a whole number. And I'm just going to write my 5 with a decimal in my 2 zero place values, the tenths and the hundredths, because this will help us in order when we're moving decimals. Because if this is a 5, when we go this direction, we're going to be moving the decimal point that many spaces over like this. Okay? If we're going to go this way on from smallest to biggest, we're going to move the decimal point that way in our number. So if I have a 5 right here, I'm going to count the jumps to get where I need to be. So I'm going to need centimeters, so I'm going to jump from mom, it's 1, 2. So that means I have to move my decimal point 2 places. 1, 2. So now this is where my decimal should go. So if I put it there, my new number is 500 with a decimal at the end. So 5 meters equals 500 centimeters. If I'm going to go from the other direction, I can erase my little jumps here so that it doesn't distract anyone. If I want to say I've got, I don't know, 60 millimeters, and I want to know how many centimeters that is, then I would go the other direction. So 60 would have my decimal point here, and if I come up here from millimeter to centimeter, I'm going back 1. So my decimal will go back 1 place. So 60 millimeters equals 6 centimeters. We're going to go ahead and use this strategy as another form of being able to convert our metric system. Since it's not as familiar to us, this can also help us. If we remember King Henry died, mom didn't care much, knowing that if we go this direction, which would be greatest to least, we're going to move the decimal that way. And if we go this direction, from least to greatest, we're going to move the direction the decimal that way. So that's a strategy we're going to be practicing in the next couple of days.